Hold on. What's good, you? So today we'll be reacting to boy, I ain't gonna y'all stop. I don't know how to read, bro. Stop her. So let's get into this video right now. Let's go.
Spain's Belgrade Lakes seemed to be one of the most peaceful places on Earth,
Okay.
but there was a
I ain't gonna lie, I wanna go here. If it's peaceful and it's calm, break my fight right now.
problem. For 3 decades, over 1,000 reports of
Wait, how long is 3 decades? 3 decades, 3 years? How long is 3 decades?
break-ins in the residents' cabins were made, and nobody was
Okay.
able to find who the perpetrator was.
What the
These
hell?
thefts always occurred when nobody was home, and strangely enough, they happened more frequently in the days before Memorial Day and after Labor Day.
What the fuck? So did he know when people was finna die? Is he a superhero? And what is Memorial Day? What the fuck? Huh? I don't fucking know.
These incidents became so frequent and bizarre that people started talking about the thief as an urban legend,
You ever thought about getting a lock on your door?
fake details as time went on and talking about him in horror stories. It wasn't even
Oh,
known if all of that was caused by a single person or a
in
group, and
fact,
some
I'm
started
telling you
thinking
what.
that nobody was ever going to pay for it. The legend
Wait,
kept
stop,
on
no.
spreading while no new significant evidence was found
Who is
until
he?
April
Batman?
2013. A police
Oh,
officer arrested a man named Christopher Thomas Knight who had a
look
really
at
weird
him.
attitude. He refused to
Mm,
answer any questions from the police, and when asked
okay.
about it, he said that he was ashamed of himself. After a while, it
Dang.
was discovered that the man was actually a hermit who had lived in that area for
What is a
decades
hummer?
without talking to a single human being.
How long is decades? Like somebody said 3 decades, not decades. And he never talked to somebody. Oh, he awkward and he's social. Whatever the word is.
Having only said
Let me shut
hi to
up.
a hiker in 27 years. When asked how long he'd been there, he stated that he lost track of time and explained that he'd lived like
Dang,
that since Chernobyl's incident. This shows that he was only
dang.
20 years old when he decided to be a hermit, and he never explained why. The only possession he
Oh,
had was the glasses he kept from high school. Everything else he
okay.
used to survive was stolen. He went to extreme measures to avoid any human contact and to preserve his privacy,
What
such as
the
not
heck?
lighting fires and always moving at night. Crazily enough,
Hmm.
he didn't even know what the internet was. He was finally sentenced to 7 months in
Yo,
prison, and according to local authorities, he's still living a quiet life in rural Maine as of now. Serial
okay.
snuggler. In
Cereal smuggler.
2004, girls at Louisiana State University
Wait, so he stole cereal and smuggled it? Yo, who do that to cereal?
started thinking that they were being watched and snuggled up against while sleeping. This became
The
a
fuck?
recurring story in the talks at
The
school,
fuck?
but no clear evidence was found. That was the case
You can snuggle with me. My bad, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Sneaking in somebody else and cuddling one through gate can never be that down bad.
until August 2004, when a man from Baton Rouge was sentenced to
Ugh, look
community
at him.
service for breaking into apartments to cuddle sleeping women. He
What
used
the
to
fuck?
break into their homes
That's all he got was community service. Lock him up. Like, what the heck? Lock that man up.
eat their food, fold their clothes, and
What the
snuggle them.
fuck?
In one
Oh,
instance, he made
that's good.
nachos, while in another one, he crawled into
Nah.
one woman's bed to rub her stomach. The judge
What
said
the
that he
fuck?
led a
Is this nigga
commendable life
okay?
before starting his notorious crime spree and sentenced him to a
Something wrong with
12-year
him.
suspended sentence, 5 years probation, 200 hours
Damn.
of community service, and regular drug tests.
Wait. If y'all give 2 hours, can't that mean after 2 hours he can just break in or something? Or do that mean somebody's watching him? I don't know, y'all. I never did that before.
Skin shoes. In horror
What the
movies and
fuck?
popular media in general, it's not uncommon to see things made out of bones, skin,
Right,
or other
yeah.
body materials.
Yeah,
Sadly, however, this doesn't only
I
happen
never
in
want to see
movies.
that.
George Parrot, also
Oh,
known as Big Nose George, was a criminal
big
in the
nose
American
George.
Wild
Not big
West. He
ass
was known for
nose.
stealing cattle and robbing travelers.
Now, I see what he do. Look at his fat nose. He's trying to damn ass nose. Oink, oink, bitch.
Once caught, he was found guilty of murder and sentenced to death by
Dang.
hanging, and no one cared to
He's
claim the
still
body.
alive?
But then, something disturbing happened. Two
He
doctors
came back
present at the
alive?
time asked to have the body for medical study. One did
What?
use it for his studies, closely analyzing his brain, but the other one used it for
Mm.
another purpose. He took the skin and made some
Oh.
shoes out of it. West Hobart Haunted House.
Mm.
People who went through West Hobart, a suburb in Australia, kept reporting paranormal activities like ghost hauntings and apparitions for years. But most of them
If you want to start a ghost channel, yeah, you either go to Steve House.
had little evidence to back them up. The place itself had a little bit of a creepy vibe, causing people to think that most of these stories were just made up, until one particular story started showing signs of truth. In the late 80s, there were rumors that a house was so haunted that it made the
Mm.
residents go insane. Everyone tried to stay as
Dang.
far away from the house as possible, and the local newspapers kept talking about it. Seeing the
Okay.
public scare that this caused, authorities were alerted and entered the house, discovering something shocking. They
Somebody
didn't see
died.
ghosts or anything of the sorts, but a suspicious tree above the house. When they checked further, they saw that it had datura plants falling in the family's water tank.
What is that? What is that good plants? What is that? Y'all keep saying these big words. I don't. My grammar is small.
Datura is known as the
Dang, I got a small grammar. Stop.
devil's trumpet because of its extremely powerful hallucinogenic properties, with many
Hey,
uses in Aztec and voodoo rituals. It's so powerful that even incredibly small doses can lead to dangerous deliriums.
I saw one of those before. Am I right about a dream this whole time? Oh my god. What's up? Okay. I'm hallucinating this shit.
If not death. The residents had been drinking microdoses of this substance unawarely, causing them to slowly lose their mental sanity. Candyman. An
Why
urban
do my
legend that
head
takes
the
place from a
candy
film called
man?
Candyman says that if you
He
repeat the
real?
word Candyman several
Oh my
times while
god, he
looking at a mirror, he
real.
will appear. In the actual
Oh shit.
film, he usually pops out of the medicine cabinet or out
That's
of the
not
mirror
him.
itself. But this story isn't just an urban legend anymore. In
Okay.
1987, the Chicago Reader published a story about Ruth McCoy, a woman living in a Chicago
Mm.
housing project who made a terrifying call to 911, saying that she was getting attacked in her own apartment. Responders got in their cars and drove to her house, but when they got there, she was found dead of gunshot wounds. Investigators
Damn.
took the case later on and found out that the murderers gained access to her house by breaking through the connecting wall from the near apartment, climbing through the medicine cabinet.
Yo,
Auto
nah.
defenestration
Nah, that boy really the candy man. I ain't gonna lie. You can never want to kill. Y'all can, like, what would be wrong with y'all people? Y'all really need help. Y'all psychos.
Defenestration is the act of throwing someone out of a window, and you may have heard a well-known
What the
story about it
fuck?
during your lifetime. The legend says that a
No, I
lawyer was
haven't.
showing off his office and demonstrating to some people that his windows were
Oh
shatterproof,
yeah.
so he decided to throw himself against the window to prove his point. The window didn't break, but it dislodged from the frame and plummeted to the ground along with the lawyer. What many people don't realize is that this isn't an urban legend. It's a true story. Gary Hoy,
Yeah,
a
the true
Canadian lawyer,
story.
was on the
I
24th
thought that
floor of
was
his
fake.
office building at the Toronto Dominion Center in July 1993 when performed the
All he had
test
to,
that led to his tragic death.
all he had
Mexican
to do
underground
was sit his
tunnels.
monkey
The
ass.
residents of
All he
Puebla
had to do
City
was
in
sit
southeast
down.
Mexico kept telling folktales about a mysterious network of tunnels hidden beneath the city, even though no
Mm.
evidence supporting this was
Yeah, I
found
saw
for
one of those
hundreds of
before.
years. This changed in 2015 when a construction crew started excavating the site and discovered
Yeah.
a crazy tunnel network of about 6 miles in length.
What the
These
fuck?
tunnels went around the whole city, and it's
Oh my god, don't tell me they found, don't tell me they found Jeffrey Epstein. Don't, oh my god, they found Jeffrey Epstein tunnels. They found P. Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein's tunnels. Oh my god, burn them down.
believed that they were constructed from the
Oh my
16th
god,
to the
they really
19th
did.
century. Nowadays, they're open as a tourist attraction, a live
Bitch,
burial.
what the fuck?
Most of us have probably heard the
Man,
story of
I
someone
hope that
being
never
buried
happened to me.
alive,
I
only to
hope that
find
never
later
happened to
on
me.
that there are scratch marks on the inside of the coffin. This urban
Mm,
legend probably stems from the real case of Octavia Hatcher. She fell ill and
mm.
went into a coma in the late
So
1800s,
y'all
and
just,
not long after, she was pronounced dead and buried. Suspicion
oh god, this happened to me, gang. All my friends and my whole friends forget I'm together. I don't have friends. My family don't know me. Everybody forget about. Everybody will forget about me. Even y'all.
started to arise when not even a week later, other people began showing similar symptoms to Octavia, falling into a coma but then waking up. Her husband, worried she had
Mm,
been buried alive, ordered her to be unburied, and sadly, he was right. Octavia was found dead in her casket with a scratched
oh, she
face and
hurt.
bloody fingers. Fake cops.
Ah,
A
fake
popular
cops.
urban legend has recently been
I
circulating,
be
saying
damn
that some
bitch.
ill-willed people are posing as police officers to pull people over, only to then kidnap them or commit other crimes.
What
For the
the
perpetrator,
fuck?
this would be fairly easy to do, as flashing
Right.
lights for their cars can be found almost anywhere on the
Oh
internet.
my
However,
god.
this isn't only an urban legend. It actually happened in many documented cases. For example, in
Those niggas look like
2018
real
in rural
cops.
Bloomington, a man saw the police's flashing lights behind him and pulled over. However, when he did, a man came out and tried to subdue him. Luckily, he was able to drive away unharmed. A similar thing happened in the UK too, when a
What
man was
does that
driving
do
on the
me?
M40 motorway and had a minor collision with another car. After this happened, he saw the flashlights behind him and pulled over, thinking that the police were about to intervene. What he did not know, though, was that this was a fake police car, and the people inside it took advantage of the situation to rob him. A group of men emerged from the fake
Dang.
police car, assaulted him, and stole his belongings, leaving him
Nah,
severely
that's
injured. If you
crazy.
want to discuss this video or suggest an idea for the next
Listen, y'all. Y'all already know. Love y'all game gonna come out every day. Game gonna be more consistent, bro. Y'all already know. Peace out. Love y'all.